Make sure the mic is working. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to another stream. Hope you're all doing fantastic today. It is about almost 5 p.m. my time. So, like I said yesterday, we are not on a good sleep schedule right now, chat. So you can go ahead and expect that the streams will be a little later on in the day than compared to our morning streams that we've been doing recently. Just go ahead and expect that from here on out until things change. So Kate's going to get first in the chat today. What is up, Kate? Welcome. Sanchez right behind her. What's up, dude? Brian, Zoe, how is everybody doing today? Welcome, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the only thing, right? The only thing that you can control during your recovery, and then out beside that I've got the accepting inner voice. A big mistake, and hold on, let's see here. I feel like chat is already just about filling up. Okay, we might as well not even wait around today. We might as well just jump right into it. Chat is already filling up, so let's do it. Who's with me? Let's go ahead and do it. So the only thing that you can control during your anxiety recovery, and out beside of that I've got the accepting inner voice. Now, a big mistake that I'm noticing, a big mistake that I even noticed in myself at times, and I'm not saying people are making this mistake on a daily basis, but there does come a point where people do make this mistake, right? There does come a point where people do make this mistake, and they continue to make it, and you have to hold yourself accountable on this, right? There can be no BS. Let's all get serious for a second. You have to hold yourself accountable for this. The only thing you can control during your anxiety recovery is your accepting inner voice, and that's what you tell yourself about these thoughts and feelings, whether you are reminding yourself that they are allowed to be, right? Just an example. Or if you're still going down the rabbit hole trying to fight with them, figure them out, play them up, tell horror stories, the list goes on and on. That is the only thing you can control during your recovery. If you are falling victim to this false notion that you can somehow control what feelings and thoughts come during your recovery, you are always going to fall victim to second fear. So let's say, for example, you wake up and you've got this mindset of, okay, I want to make sure anxiety does not come today. You've got this mindset of, okay, I want to make sure that intrusive thoughts stay at a distance today, right? I want to make sure all of these things kind of keep away today. I want to have a good day today, right? Nobody can blame you for wanting to have a good day. But if you've already got the mindset of, I want to keep these things at bay today, and I will do whatever it takes to keep these things at bay today, we're going to lose every time, right? Because acceptance will never, mark my words, quote me on this, acceptance will never have anything to do with trying to keep thoughts and feelings of anxiety at bay. Acceptance will never have anything to do with trying to keep the symptoms of anxiety and trying to keep the intrusive thoughts away. So if we've got the mindset, and I'm not saying you're screwed, oh, how dare you do this, right? I've made this mistake myself during my recovery. If you've got the mindset of, I do not want these thoughts and feelings to be here, and I'm willing to do anything in my power, including I'm going to use acceptance, right? We say we're going to use acceptance, but really you've got this mindset, I'm going to try to keep all this at bay. Then we've got the wrong mindset, and we need to make a very quick adjustment, right? So, again, it is not about trying to keep anything away. It is not about trying to turn anything off. It is not about trying to switch flip any switches and say, okay, intrusive thoughts are there, I want them to go away. Feelings are there, I want them to change. The accepting inner voice, the only thing you have control over, is all about a welcoming inner voice to the thoughts and feelings. It is not sending a message of wanting anything to change or go away. It is not sending a message of wanting anything to be different than it is. It is not a message of any sort of resistance. The accepting inner voice, which again is the only thing you can control. You cannot control what symptoms and intrusive thoughts come during your recovery. The accepting inner voice is all about being welcoming. It's all about allowing. It's all about reminding yourself that this is allowed to be. It's all about reminding yourself that the thoughts may come. It's all about reminding yourself that the thought doesn't have to leave. It's all about reminding yourself that the symptom can be. It's all about reminding yourself that the symptoms can do what they wish. Okay? It has nothing to do with trying to turn anything away or turn anything off. And if you're living with the mindset of, I'm going to work really hard on this acceptance thing, right, so that I can make these thoughts and feelings go away, well, then we've got a slight error in that thinking. Right? If your mindset is acceptance sounds great and I'm going to start using this accepting inner voice so that I can make it all go away in the moment. And don't get me wrong, I know that recovery is your end goal. I know that one day you wish to get to a point where the nerves are not popping off. I know that one day you wish to get to the point that these feelings and thoughts, right, are not such a dominant force in your life. I understand all that and I'm not taking that away from you. But in the moment, in your day-to-day moments, while we're in the process of recovery, we should not have the attitude of, I'm going to work really hard to make these thoughts and feelings go away. We should have the attitude of, I'm going to accept them with the inner voice of they are allowed to be, and as a consequence of that, they will eventually start to go away as I heal. But we don't go into it with the accepting inner voice of, okay, right now in this moment, I want these thoughts and feelings to go away, so I'm going to work really hard on that. Do you see the big obvious difference between the two there? Some people using acceptance like a pill. I take a pill, make the thoughts and feelings go away. It won't work that way because you're still in your head saying, oh God this, oh God that. That's still second fear, right? But if you use acceptance in the correct way, which again is that accepting inner voice. The two main keys are continue to live your life and stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings, aka that accepting inner voice, what you tell yourself about those thoughts and feelings. If you use that in the correct way, then it sounds something like this. That thought is there, and that thought may stay if it wishes to, right? And then you go back to living. That feeling is there. I've felt this a million times before, just a feeling. I'm going to allow it to be there, right? You go back to living. So accepting inner voice, one last time, will never be rooted in any sort of message about wanting to change, push away, turn away, any sort of feeling or thought. It'll never be about trying to change it or push it away. The accepting inner voice will always be one of welcoming, right? Now, some people say, Wonder Bro, I can't possibly do that. And I say, well, you've got to give it a try. And then some people say, well, Wonder Bro, I tried to do that, and it doesn't feel real to me. And I say, well, you got to practice. Why would it feel real to you? You've never done it before. Why would it feel real to you? You've only gave it 10% effort. Why would it feel real to you? Your habit is to do the opposite, which is to have the resistant inner voice, right? So when you first start building this accepting inner voice, don't expect it to feel real. Don't expect yourself to have all the confidence in the world. Don't expect yourself to even agree with the new message. You're sending the new message regardless, right? Because we know that if we send the message of resistance, that's not the message the brain wants to hear. Truth says I must not be using it correctly. My thoughts always seem to trigger me. They will. You have to listen. They will trigger you. That's what they're supposed to do. When you have tired nerves, they will trigger you. Listen. Listen, because you're making great progress. You're all making great progress, but you need to understand this. They will trigger you. So to say to yourself, well, I must not be doing it correctly because my thoughts trigger me. 0 cents. They will trigger you. That's a part of being in a sensitized nervous system. They're supposed to trigger you. You're supposed to be through the roof fucking anxiety when these thoughts come. That's a part of being in a tired nervous system. It's what you do when you're triggered that matters. Are you adding gas to the fire or not? Are you using the accepting inner voice or not? Right? So to say to yourself, well, I must not be doing it correctly because I'm triggered. What? What? No. You're supposed to be triggered. That's when anxiety learns. Anxiety only learns when anxiety turns on. Here's the thing about being sensitized. You're supposed to have a ton of symptoms. You're supposed to have negative intrusive thoughts that trigger the absolute fuck out of you. That is supposed to happen. These things are supposed to happen. These thoughts are supposed to trigger the shit out of you. But the difference is, do you use the accepting inner voice while triggered, or do you not? So when these thoughts are there, you cannot control what thoughts come. You cannot control what symptoms come. You cannot control that the thoughts are triggering you. You can't. They're supposed to. They are supposed to trigger you. The difference is Do you use the accepting inner voice when you're triggered, or do you not? That's the only thing you've got control over. You do not have control over whether or not the thoughts trigger you. You do not have control over what symptoms come. You have zero control out of any of this. The only thing you have any control over is whether or not you're using the accepting inner voice while you're triggered. So to say I must not be doing it correctly because my thoughts trigger me makes zero sense, right? I want to correct you on this because it's important, right? I want to correct you on this so that we can pick you up and put you right back on track and get you going. You're going to learn something today, which is going to help take you very, very far in your recovery. You've made great progress, but we've spotted an error there. We've spotted a slight error there. To say to yourself, I must not be doing it correctly because my thoughts trigger me, is the same as saying, these thoughts are not supposed to be triggering me. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. When you are sensitized, they're supposed to be triggering you. Anxiety learns while anxiety is turned on. This is not about trying to say, okay, well, I'm only doing good if I'm not triggered. No, it's about what you do while you're triggered. That's going to determine if you're doing good or not. It's not about saying, okay, well, I'm only doing good if I'm not triggered. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. It's about how you handle being triggered. Does that make a little bit more sense? It's not about stopping the thoughts or feelings. It's about how you handle being triggered. Is that more simple of a way to put it, right? So it doesn't matter what you tell yourself, right? You say, I don't know what inner voice to use. It doesn't matter what you tell yourself as long as it's rooted in acceptance. So the thoughts are there and you say, okay, they're there, they're allowed to be. The feeling, and I'm saying this literally. The feelings are there. Okay, you tell yourself quite literally, you speak the words, these feelings are allowed to be. These thoughts are allowed to be, right? I'm triggered. That's okay. I'm triggered. I can take the hit. And then you keep living your life. These are examples of the accepting inner voice. It doesn't matter what you tell yourself, what words you use, as long as it's rooted in acceptance. So again, you can't control what thoughts come, you can't control what feelings come, and you certainly can't control whether or not you're triggered. This recovery is not about controlling any of that. It's all about how do you speak to yourself when you are triggered. Are you using that accepting inner voice? We call them accepting little reminders and then living your life, or are you not? Or are you in your head saying, oh God, please go away. Oh God, make these thoughts stop. Oh God, make these feelings stop. Is that what you're doing? We need to change that. We need to change that to the accepting inner voice. These thoughts are allowed to be. These feelings are allowed to be. So to put it very, very simple to you, right? And I really hope you don't go down the path of beating yourself up and say, oh God, I've made so many mistakes. I just wanted to correct that error, right, so that we can make more progress, because you've already made a ton, and I want you to make more. So stop holding yourself responsible for being triggered. Stop holding yourself responsible for these thoughts triggering you. They're supposed to. Stop holding yourself responsible for what feelings come. They're supposed to come during recovery. Stop holding yourself responsible for what thoughts come. They're supposed to come during recovery. Stop holding yourself responsible for whether or not you're triggered. You're supposed to be triggered. So to sum it all up, let's forget all that for a second and put it to you like this. Recovery is about the things you tell yourself while you're triggered. Are they rooted in acceptance? Are you reminding yourself that you're going to make it? You can take the hit. These feelings and thoughts are allowed to be. Take advantage of it. Is that how you're speaking to yourself while you live your life, the two main keys? Or are you speaking to yourself in a very negative, fearful, worrisome way? Forget everything you think you know about recovery and just focus on that for a second. How do you speak to yourself when thoughts and feelings are there? Is there some sort of inner voice that says, I don't want this, push this away, try really hard to make this go away? Or are you practicing, because it doesn't just fall in your lap, it does take practice. Are you practicing the inner voice of acceptance? Are you practicing the accepting reminders, right? That's what we call them. Dr. Claire Weeks called it accepting inner voice, and then living your life. Which are you doing? Which of the two? Forget everything else that you think you know for a moment, because this is what it all comes down to. It always comes down to this in some way or another. Are you adding second fear, or are you not? Second fear is worry. Are you telling yourself positive, good things? Okay, I can handle this. You can be there. Say what you want to say. Are you talking yourself up while you're triggered with the accepting inner voice, or are you talking yourself down with the worry and the pushing and the shoving? That's the question, right? And if you can say to me, I am practicing the accepting inner voice, then we're on the right track, right? Even if you do worry for a little bit and you catch it and you turn it into, because you say, I always go to the worst conclusion, was your next comment there. Okay, do you catch that? Do you make an attempt to catch that and turn that into, okay, yeah, I just went to the worst conclusion, but you know what? That thought can say what it wants to say. Okay, so be it. It's allowed to be. I'm allowed to be triggered. These feelings are allowed to be. Are you making an effort to catch the worry and turn it into the accepting inner voice? Are you talking yourself up while you're triggered with an accepting, welcoming inner voice? Or are you talking yourself down? That is the only question that I want you to ponder for a second. Now, you don't have to be perfect. I always try to point that out. You don't have to be perfect. You can catch it, okay? It's not like, oh, I started worrying. I started using the negative inner voice. I'm screwed. No, you can catch that and turn it into the accepting inner voice. Are you practicing that and living your life? If the answer to that question is yes, you are on track. Stop beating yourself up. Understand that you will be triggered, and when you're triggered, it's time to put in work. That's to be expected. You can't control that. When you're triggered, your brain is learning. It's time to either use the accepting inner voice and live your life or not. I hope you decide to. But if the answer to that question is yes, that you are practicing that, you are on the right track. Stop being down on yourself. Let's continue to put in the work. Okay? You had and I might sound like I'm just addressing one person in the chat right now, but I'm addressing all of you. Okay? So you might have that small error of thinking where you thought, oh, my thoughts triggered me, so I'm doing something wrong. Well, we corrected that today. We corrected you, and we told you that, no, the thoughts will trigger you. It's about how you talk to yourself while you're triggered. Are you talking yourself up, or are you talking yourself down with negativity, worry, and fear, right? Or are you using an accepting inner voice towards these thoughts and feelings, not trying to figure them out, but just reminding yourself they're allowed to be. I'm allowed to be triggered. Don't have to figure that thought out. It can come. It can go. It will pass. Bring it on. Whatever your accepting reminders are. Are you doing that, or are you not doing that? If the answer to that question is yes, you are on the right track. Keep it up, right? So just to pull everything back in here for a second, the main point of today's stream was the only thing you can control is that accepting inner voice. You cannot control what feelings come, symptoms, thoughts, being triggered, right? As you said, being triggered. Can't control any of that. Can't control any of that. What you can control is that accepting inner voice. That's the only lick of control that you have. And as long as you practice that, as a consequence of that, you will start to heal, right? It'll take time, more than likely, but you will start to heal. So again, stop wasting your time, basically, is what I'm telling you today. That's my main point today. Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your energy trying to control what thoughts and feelings come. That's what got you in the boat to begin with. That's what got you in the boat to begin with, right? And so what if you're just having a tough day? Truth, you can't be triggered and say, oh, well, I'm not doing it right. I'm screwed, right? You can't do that. You're triggered right now. Great. Let's take advantage of that. Right? You can't say I'm triggered right now, so I must be doing it wrong and everything is bad and everything's awful, because then we're not looking at it the right way. We've got to say I'm triggered. Let's take advantage. I'm going to talk myself up today, not down. You're talking yourself down and you're going down, right? Let's start talking yourself up. You can start right now. You are doing great and you've been doing great. And the fact that you're triggered today is good. It is good. It is a good thing, right? I need you to understand. I need every one of you to understand that being triggered does not mean you're doing something wrong. It does not mean you're going backwards. It is a good thing. You have to be triggered to retrain, right? So if you are triggered and you're saying to yourself, well, obviously I'm just fucking it all up. No, we have to say to ourselves, I'm triggered, I can take advantage of this. I'm triggered, I want this. I'm triggered, I'm going to show my brain the truth. Right? It's not, oh, I'm triggered, I must be going backwards. It's I'm triggered and there's nothing I can do about being triggered, but that's okay because while I'm triggered, my brain is learning the most. Let's turn your day around starting now. You've made so much excellent progress, but I need you to understand, right, that when you're triggered is when your brain is learning the most. I need you to understand that, because if you look at being triggered as a bad thing, oh, I'm doing something wrong, oh, I'm fucking up, then we're going down the second fear path. We have to look at being triggered as a good thing, because it is. It doesn't mean that you're fucking up. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. You're supposed to be triggered. It's how you talk to yourself while you are triggered that matters, right? And it's not going to give you those instant results, but it will break you out of the cycle. It will break you out of the cycle. I promise you that. But you cannot look at being triggered as a sign that you're fucking up and going backwards and everything's horrible, right? You have to look at being triggered as an opportunity, okay? You cannot look at being triggered as such a bad thing. Starting right now, it's your choice. Do you want to say, okay, I'm triggered today? That's fine. Look at all the progress I've made. I'm going to have a productive day. Okay, thoughts and feelings are there. Great. They're allowed to be. I'm going to see them right through. You can speak those words to yourself right now in this moment. Whether or not you do, up to you. Repeat after me. Let's go ahead and get started on the right foot here because you've all made so much progress. But we've got to get you understanding that being triggered is an okay thing. We've got to get you understanding that being triggered is the time to put in the work, right? So repeat after me. I am triggered. I've had a triggering day, and that's okay. I am triggered. I've had a triggering day. There's a lot of thoughts here. There's a lot of feelings here. They are allowed to be. I'm going to make it through this day. They are allowed to be. Repeat after me. Can't you see that feels a little bit better? Can't you see how you should be talking yourself up and not down? Can't you see how that accepting inner voice is what it's all about, right? You've made so much progress, and I'm not speaking to anyone in particular. I'm speaking to the entire chat. You've made so much progress. Let's keep that accepting inner voice going. We don't have time to be down. We don't have time to beat ourselves up. We don't have time for none of that. We got to get right back on board. We got to get right back on track. You've made so much progress. Let's keep going. You've made so much progress. Why stop now? You've made so much progress. Let's have a good day, right? And you can, in this moment, in this very moment, you get to decide what your inner voice is. You get to decide. Nobody else, nothing else. You get to decide what you tell yourself about these thoughts and feelings and being triggered. And whether that's up or down, completely up to you. Nobody can take that from you. You have made so much progress. Why stop now? Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your day. Starting now. Truth, Sky, Emma, Kate, everybody in chat. You get to decide in this moment what you tell yourself about your thoughts and feelings. Forget the past. Forget what you think's going to happen in the future with all this. In this moment, right now as we're speaking, you get to decide what your inner voice about these thoughts, feelings, being triggered, whatever. You get to decide what your inner voice is about all of these things right now. You get to decide whether that's up or whether that's down, right? You get to decide if you tell yourself something like, okay, I've had a triggering day. I'm going to get through the rest of this day. It's okay that I'm triggered. I'm allowing these thoughts and feelings. You get to decide if you start to talk to yourself like that, or if you start to or continue to talk to yourself down. You get to decide what the inner voice is right now in this moment, right? Nothing can take that from you. So Truth or anyone else in the chat that this applies to, I think you should tell yourself right now in this moment, I've had a triggering day, and that's okay. Look at all the progress I've made. I accept these thoughts. I accept these feelings. I'm going to take advantage, have a good rest of my day with these thoughts and feelings, with being triggered. It's all welcomed. I've been through this, right, a million times before. Going to have a good rest of my day, right? And go from there. See, you get to decide that. You get to decide that at any moment, whether you want to talk yourself up with the accepting inner voice or talk yourself down with the worry, negativity, and fear. And try to debate with these thoughts, try to fight with these thoughts, try to argue with these thoughts and figure them out, or just accept them with the accepting inner voice. You get to decide that at any given moment. Start now, right? So I want to address one last thing. Let's say, because obviously, some people in chat might be struggling. I don't want you to think to yourself because you struggled today that it's all over. You're back to square one. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. You are lying to yourself if you think that I myself did not have plenty of ups and downs during my recovery, because you can bet your sweet ass I did, right? But that does not mean you're back to square one. That does not mean anything. You've made all the progress that you've made, and that progress is still there. So what, you've had a moment. So what, you weren't perfect. So what, you're having a down. Whatever. Get right back on track with the accepting inner voice. Pick up where you left off. Pick up where you left off, because that progress is not gone. It's still there. Pick it right back up where you left off, and let's get going with how you decide to talk to yourself right now. Okay? So progress not lost. You just got to pick it up and change that inner voice right now with an inner voice of acceptance towards these thoughts and feelings. Get back to living your life. That's the two main keys. Rinse and repeat. You're not perfect. You're never going to be perfect. You're going to have these moments, right? That's okay. It doesn't mean square one. Just pick right back up where you left off. That progress is still there. That practice still matters, and get back to it. Let's keep going. You're almost there, right? Right? Let's go. Let's go. So, excellent stream today, guys. Whew, that was a mouthful. Excellent stream today. I hope no one thinks I came off as a bit douchey, because I know I got really, there for a second, because I'm passionate about this. I want you to understand, right? So, and you do understand. Don't lie to yourself. You do understand. You know what I'm saying when I say the accepting inner voice towards these thoughts and feelings. You know what I'm saying when I say you got to build it. You know what I'm saying when I say you're not perfect. You know all these things on an intellectual level, right? You know that. You know that. So, but anyway, I'm just passionate about it. I want you to pick yourself up, and I want to see you talk to yourself in that accepting way starting now, instead of that negative, fearful, worried way. I want you to start building that accepting inner voice now, right? And that's why sometimes I just got so much energy, I just want to shake something, right? Because I know you're capable, and I know you've come so far from where you started, and there's no point in stopping now. You have made so much progress, and that progress is not lost. It is there waiting for you to pick it up and run with it again. Pick it back up and run with it. It's still there. You've not lost anything. Let's get going, right? You've made so much progress. Why quit now? Keep going. So excellent stream today. You get to decide in any moment, no matter what symptoms you're feeling, experiencing, no matter what thoughts you're having, no matter what triggers you're having, right? You get to decide the way that you speak to yourself. That's the one thing that you have control over. Let's start now. All right, you guys? Quick accepting reminders, accepting inner voice, and then let's move on, live your life. So let's head on over to post stream today, see what you guys are up to. Not letting anxiety get me today. Yesterday I had a triggering day, so I played video games. Today was better, so I'm working on my Valentine's Day project. Keep it up, dude. Keep it up. Gratitude, Chris, for caring so much for all of us. Absolutely, Truth. Absolutely. I want to see you succeed. I want to see everybody in chat succeed. And I know on a lot of our streams we do a lot of joking around. We're not really joking around today. We're giving you, it might come off as I'm being a bit mean or aggressive or whatever. It's just sometimes I'm not. I'm not really joking. I'm not delivering a light message. I'm not delivering it in the joking kind of light way. I want to deliver it in a more in-your-face, straightforward kind of way, because I want to see you make progress. I know most days I'm very lighthearted and stuff, but sometimes I do get a little bit in your face. It's because I want to see you succeed, right? So what it comes down to, I want to see you succeed. I don't want you to continue to talk to yourself in a down way. So what? You had a bad day. We all do. But you can choose right now in this moment if you use the accepting inner voice or not. So we weren't very lighthearted today. We were more direct, but that's okay. I'm trying to get my point across. So sometimes that helps. Sometimes that helps. Let's see. I might have missed some comments during my little rant there. Might have missed some comments. I don't think I did, though. I don't think I missed any questions or anything like that. I hope you guys did enjoy the stream, man. If you did, make sure you give it a like, guys, so we can get this message out to other people who need it. I would really appreciate it. I will beat the setback, or I will let the setback be here like it's nothing, because it's nothing only. Exactly. So talk yourself up, not down. Don't look at it as something that you need to push away, right? Talk yourself up, not down. You get to decide. Like I said, Truth, you've not lost any progress. It's all still there. It's just waiting for you to pick it up again. Like, you can pick it up at any moment and start running with it again. It's still, all the progress you made is untouched, ready for you to pick up and run with. And I want you, because I noticed you were being down, right? And everybody makes that mistake. You're not the only one in chat. Anytime I see someone doing that to themselves, I want them to know, look, you can't control these thoughts and feelings and being triggered, but you can control what you're telling yourself right now in this moment. You can choose accepting inner voice or not. And sometimes you got to shake people a little bit and say, hey, please use this accepting inner voice. Let's build, right? And sometimes you just need to hear that. It's okay to have a down day. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to go back to bad habits for a little bit. It's okay to talk yourself down a little bit. We all make mistakes, right? But I want to just kind of shake that out of you a little bit and say, hey, let's jump right back on board with that accepting inner voice. You know, what's some examples of that? It's okay to have these thoughts and feelings. I need to have these thoughts and feelings to retrain. They're allowed to be. I'm going to have a good day regardless. I'm allowed to be triggered, right? More aggressive approach. Fuck it, let it be. So be it. Hit me with your best shot. You know, whatever you prefer. But whether you're talking yourself up or down, whether you're trying to fight and push away the feelings and worry and fear and fear and fear, all this extra fear, or whether you're telling yourself accepting things, rooted in acceptance, up to you, always up to you, and nothing can take that from you, right? And that's what's going to make the difference in the end. So don't base recovery off of how you feel in the moment. Base recovery off of what you're telling yourself about these thoughts, feelings, and being triggered, right? That's what makes the difference in the end. So sometimes you just have to be shook a little bit and say, you know, hey, it's okay to have a bad day. Everybody does. It's okay to have a moment. Everybody does, right? But, you know this stuff, so let's get you right back on board. Let's get you right back on board, right? Okay, so while we have a little break in the chat, let's go ahead and get us some music going today. Get us some music playing. All right. So I hope this motivates somebody, man. I hope somebody heard this message today and is like, you know what, you're right. I get to decide how I talk to myself. You know what, you're right. No matter how I feel, Wonder Bro, no matter how intense the symptoms are or what thoughts are there or how triggered I am, I get to decide what I tell myself about them, whether I talk myself up or whether I talk myself down. You're right, Wonder Bro. I do get to decide that. All right, let's get some music going, guys. We had to take a big drink after that one. Woo! Good stream, guys. Good stream. Appreciate it, man. Hey, you know, this stream is really just a message of trying to make it simple for you guys. It's, you know, that's what my main goal always is, but you know, this stream especially, man, it's just about trying to make it simple for you guys. It's letting you know, hey, take the stress, because believe me, it is a ton of stress, and it's the reason you're in this situation. Take the stress of trying to control how you feel, trying to control what thoughts come, trying to control whether those thoughts trigger you or not. Take the stress of trying to control all that and throw it out the window. Understand that that's not in your control, right? But understand that you do have control over one thing. That's going to make all the difference in the world in the end, which is what you tell yourself about these thoughts, feelings, and being triggered, aka that accepting inner voice and living your life, the two main keys right there. So take the tremendous amount of stress of trying to control all that other bull crap, toss it out. Let's focus on the one thing you can control, which again is what you tell yourself about these thoughts, feelings, situations, trigger, etc., right? And let's worry about, well, worry is probably not a good word there. Let's focus on building that, because that is the one thing you can control. That is the one thing you can control. Whether you talk yourself up or talk yourself down, the one thing you can't control right there. You need to be anxious to retrain. Anxiety needs to be turned on for anxiety to learn. Take advantage of that and understand that the only thing you have control over is that accepting inner voice. And let's get at it, man. Drop all the stress of trying to control everything else. Drop all that. That's what put you in this boat to begin with, trying to control those thoughts and feelings and triggers and fight with them and argue with them. You can throw all that stress out the window now, right? Because the only thing you can control is that accepting inner voice. That's good news, not bad news. That's good news, not bad news. So let's focus on that instead of the fight, right? Let's focus on that instead of the fight. And since we're on the topic of people having some ups and downs, right? People having some ups and downs. Let's go ahead and address too, right? That it's okay to have ups and downs. It's okay to have a not so perfect day. That's fine. That's fine. You haven't lost any progress. You haven't. All this practice is paying off. You just got to pick it back up and keep building, right? Keep building. How you doing, Max? Haven't seen you in a while, dude. Take advantage of that, being anxious. Take advantage of that. You have to take advantage of that. Perspective, man, perspective. Is it harmful to keep telling myself the main keys because during high anxiety and I can go back into fighting, but I also remember you saying don't go back, saying I'm going to be okay, I'm going to be... What we're getting at, right? So is it harmful to remind yourself of the two main keys? No, sometimes you need to remind yourself of what your objective is, right? So that's not harmful. But what we're getting at with all this, what are the two main keys at the end of the day? At the end of the day, when we say the two main keys, we simply mean continue living your life, right? Pretty self-explanatory there. And stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings. Now, what you tell yourself about these thoughts and feelings, the accepting little reminders as we call them, is up to you. Right? We don't want you to sit in a corner rocking back and forth and saying, oh God, oh God, oh God. But you can, and you should be, reminding yourself as often as you need to that, yes, these feelings are allowed to be. Yes, these thoughts are allowed to be. Right? I'm allowed to be triggered. Right? So it's the opposite of worry. You're doing the opposite of worry. You're practicing the accepting inner voice, which is the opposite of worry. So no, it's not harmful to remind yourself of the objective, right? But let's actually use the tools. Remind yourself of the objective, that's fine, but let's actually use those tools then, right? So you're experiencing these symptoms, you're experiencing these thoughts, you're experiencing being triggered. Are you telling yourself accepting things? Like, okay, this is allowed to be, I'm allowing this thought. Be there, if you will, instead of trying to fight with it. Are you talking yourself up instead of down in those moments, right? Are you actually using the accepting inner voice? And I know it takes building, I know it takes practice, but again, to sum up your question, no, it's not harmful to remind yourself of what the two keys are, but are you using the two keys, right? Or are you still up in your head with a very negative inner voice fighting with the thoughts and feelings, right? That's the question. That's the question there. Great talk. I'm getting better at accepting bodily sensations. It's just my emotions I need to be more accepting of. So whatever it is you're trying to be more accepting of, whatever it is you're trying to use the accepting inner voice with, right, is always the same concept. So that's the good news. You don't have to get confused. You don't have to be all over the place with it. And again, that was really the point of today's stream, was to try to make it super simple for you guys. Stop trying to control all the thoughts and feelings and triggers, and stop trying to control all of that, right? Because you don't have control over that. Control the one thing you do have control over, which is what you tell yourself about these thoughts, feelings, triggers, etc. Yeah, it seems the spam bots are really on point today, man. They're not letting up, are they? They're not letting up today. I wonder if that's just my channel or not. I still don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't know. I don't really watch any. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube, but I don't really watch anyone live on YouTube. So I don't know if it's just me being affected by it. I'm sure it's not, but. You've seen them elsewhere? Okay. Okay, yeah, like I said, I watch a lot of YouTube, but I don't really watch live streams, so I wasn't sure. Probably not a good tactic to use to use a language with scam bots that most people in these chats won't be speaking. Probably not the best tactic for scamming, or whatever it is they're trying to accomplish. I'm not really sure. Back to my point that I can't read it, so. Emma, thank you so much for the $10 tip, Emma. I appreciate you. Can we get a big round of applause in the chat to Emma today? Excellent stream. Huge shout out to you for that $10 tip, Emma. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. First tip of the day. Thank you. We are one day away from that 90-day mark, guys. Oh my God. That 90-day mark. Huge shout out to you, Emma. I appreciate it, and I do hope that you enjoyed today's stream. Like we always say, not only do I hope you enjoyed it, but what am I about to say, chat? You already know. I hope you take something from it and use it. Thank you so much again, Emma, for the $10 tip. Show her some love in the chat, man. Let's see here. If you had feelings that you knew that are stupid or not logical, but you still felt it, like in my case, jealousy. Well, I mean, you can know that a feeling's uncalled for, right, Arnold? And no, it's not a stupid question. You can know that a feeling's illogical, right? Like, so for example, we'll use anxiety as an example. Let's say you're feeling anxious over a certain thought. You're triggered over a thought or whatever. You're feeling anxious. You can rationally know that's stupid. You can be like, okay, yeah, I rationally know that's really out there and kind of ridiculous. Like, you can rationally know that. You can rationally know that a feeling is not logical, as you put it, right? But that doesn't mean that that feeling's just going to disappear right in the moment because you know it's illogical, right? It still might be there. You might on an intellectual level know that it's not based in logic, but that doesn't really apply or matter to your brain. So that's why resistance is futile, right? You can know rationally and logically that a thought is ridiculous. Doesn't really mean anything. So, you know, with these thoughts and feelings, acceptance, because knowing on an intellectual level that they're not needed is one thing, but that doesn't mean they're going to disappear. So we use acceptance to not add gas to this fire, right? We let these thoughts and feelings kind of burn themselves up. You know, we always compare it to a fire, and I wouldn't pour gas on that fire. And this is the way that we go about it, because the worry, the resistance, what Dr. Claire Weeks called the second fear, no good. It just continues to send the wrong danger signals to your brain. So they pull their head out their ass. Well, it's okay if it takes time, PJ. You know, it's not something that people are perfect at overnight, you know. And sometimes that learning experience drags on for longer than we would like it to. But as you start to score little experience points here and there, it does add up. Hey, it's been a high emotional day for you, Truth, and there's nothing wrong with that. So what if your body wants to release that in the form of panic? So what? Right? I want you to tell you, this is perfect, actually. This couldn't have come at any better time, right? And that sounds weird because it's like, oh man, I'm not used to thinking of it that way. But I want you to think of it that way. I want you to think of it as an opportunity. I want you to think of it as a good thing, not a bad thing. I want you to have the inner voice of, okay, this is fine. I'm going to allow my body to release like this. I want this here. This is okay. I want you to start to talk yourself up in this moment and not down, right? Right? So accepting inner voice or not accepting inner voice, it's up to you. You've got a chance to score so many points here, right? And I do believe that you're going to score those points. I really do believe that. So it's not the end of the world. You've had a high emotional day. Emotions have been high. Your body's choosing to release that in the form of panic. Great. Not a problem, right? See, things only have to be a problem if we make them into one. And this is a perfect learning opportunity. We either make this into a problem or we don't. And I know that you're not going to make it into a problem. I know that you're not, because it's not a problem, right? So, perfect learning opportunity, not a problem. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is a chance for you to prove to yourself that you're going to start talking yourself up rather than down. This is a perfect opportunity for that. So let's take advantage of it. Yeah, it sounds wrong at first, but once you start to understand the cycle, PJ, it makes sense. Okay, 1 second, guys, 1 second. All about how you talk to yourself, Truth. Are you talking yourself up or down? And I know that you've got what it takes. Every single one of you in chat has what it takes, right? You're just building a new habit. It's not that you don't have what it takes. It's just that it's a little weird for you because you're doing something different, right? So it's not that you don't have it in you, so to speak. It's that you're trying something completely different. Right now, you're having panic, which is perfectly fine. And you're proving to yourself that you can talk yourself up during that experience instead of down. When I say up, I just mean accepting inner voice. You know, this is allowed to be here. You know, it's a feeling. Allow this feeling to be just a feeling, right? Whatever you tell yourself, right? Whatever you tell yourself, up to you, as long as it's rooted in acceptance. So perfect opportunity for you to practice. Perfect opportunity for you to not look at it as such a bad thing. Perfect opportunity for you to practice dropping that resistance in the form of the accepting inner voice. And yeah, I mean, you're right, videos. The negative inner voice, the fearful inner voice is something you've probably practiced for years now. So to change that and tell yourself quite literally when you speak the words, you know, this feeling is allowed to be, for example. And then you go back to living, rinse and repeat, right? To do that's going to feel weird to you because you're right. You've been practicing the opposite for so long. It's not going to feel natural. It's not supposed to feel natural. You're doing something different. It's not become a habit yet. So of course it's not going to feel natural, and you're absolutely right. You know, your habit right now is probably the negative, fearful inner voice. So to start flexing that accepting inner voice is a lot like building a muscle. You don't hit the gym once, twice, three times, whatever, and come out ripped, right? So Truth, for example, experiencing some panic, not a problem. Working on talking themselves up and not down, accepting inner voice, right? It's a lot like being in the gym. Let's put in the work. Let's do those curls, right? Let's get those reps in. I know it feels weird to you to talk yourself up and not down, right? It kind of feels maybe even cringy to you in a way, right? But that's just because you've got an old habit that you're currently replacing with a new habit. And I absolutely believe in each and every one of you in that way. You've got what it takes. It's not a matter of not having what it takes. It's a matter of, you know, willingness to work on this habit. That's all it comes down to. That's it. That's it. Do you talk yourself up or talk yourself down? You know, for years you've been talking yourself down, aka worry, fearful, negative inner voice, don't want these feelings, don't want these thoughts, blah, blah, blah. So now we're replacing that with the accepting inner voice. Not going to feel natural, going to feel a bit weird, but that's okay. You're putting in that work, Truth. This is a great day for you, right? This is a great day for you. Even hearing that might feel a bit weird to you. Can you read what I wrote before? Yeah, sorry, Arnold. I think I stepped away from the stream for a second. Let me see if I can find it. I was angry at the person I wanted to avoid everyone, and I suddenly became that angry, avoidant kid, but all was just in my head. So, you know, next time that happens, practice taking a step back, using that accepting inner voice, even towards these emotions, right? Not necessarily anxiety. So you could tell yourself, you know, it's okay that I feel this. This is my response right now. I'm going to work with it, not against it. And you can stay in the situation. You could talk yourself up and not down, right? Some people get confused and think, well, because it's an emotion that's not anxiety, I can't use the accepting inner voice. Not true. You can flex that muscle and practice that muscle regardless. So hope that helps, Arnold. And, of course, I hope you actually use that. Acceptance is a beautiful path to choose to go, and I hope you guys actually put in that work We're putting in work today, man. We are putting in work today. It is a good day. Might not feel that way, but you can talk yourself up with that accepting inner voice in any moment. That was one of our main points today. At any moment, you can decide what you want to do with that inner voice. At any moment, and nothing can take that from you. Oh, no, you're good, Arnold. That comment must have come when I stepped away from the stream there for a second. Each day has its own, man. Don't worry about time frames, right? And I know it feels strange to say, man, like this is gonna sound odd and weird and just straight odd to you guys, but we need you to feel these things. We need you to be emotional. Like, we need you to have these feelings. We need you to be triggered, because that's when you can put in the most practice with that accepting inner voice. So next time this happens, you're going to remember, hey, last time I used that accepting inner voice, got myself right through it. I'm going to do that again, right? It's called building confidence. So I know that sounds strange, but anxiety learns while anxiety is turned on. So that's one reason we need you to feel this right now. That's one reason it's not a bad thing. Anxiety is learning. This is great. Another reason is this is practice moments. This is where you build that confidence. So continue to talk yourself up, Truth, and instead of going down the fearful worry route, right? Accepting little reminders. Oh yeah, everybody's got, different things they tell themselves videos, right? Like, so it's all the same boat at the end of the day, but you're right. Person A could be telling themselves, oh, I might have a heart attack, and person B might be telling themselves, oh, I could go crazy. What you tell yourself with that negative, fearful, worried inner voice is usually different from person to person, and that's why different people are fearful of different things or whatever, but it's all the same boat. It's all the same condition. It's all the same cure, so to speak, at the end of the day. Just like we say, people can use different accepting reminders. How you use that accepting inner voice, more aggressive approach, neutral approach, the reminders you give yourself can suit you and tailor you. It's the same way with the negative, fearful, worrisome inner voice. That tailors you and suits you too. So that's a good way to put it. Does that make sense? No, I know exactly what you're talking about, Truth. You get that feeling of panic, of wanting to rush, of wanting to go somewhere but not knowing where to go, just run away, right? That's that adrenaline releasing, right? So you can talk yourself up through that with accepting reminders, or you can go, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Of course, you're going to practice the accepting reminders because you got this, and you're kick-ass, and you're awesome, and this is a perfect learning opportunity, and you're doing great. This was a good day for you, not a bad day for you. Talk yourself up. Let's do it. And I don't mean that sarcastically. I literally mean it is good that you feel this way, because we are putting in that serious work right now, and you should be proud of yourself. This is when the brain learns the most. I mean that with total seriousness, no sarcasm there. This is good. It might not seem that way because you're used to looking at it at a bad way, but this is good practice for you. Sounds so stupid, but as a male, I have to say this, and I catch feelings so easily, and after that, I get jealous if I see someone else. Well, these feelings, that you're describing, Arnold, like jealousy and anger, again, you don't have to confuse yourself. Acceptance can be applied to these feelings, too. So you can take a step back in those moments and notice, okay, I got a feeling of jealousy rising up. You can accept that feeling. You can talk yourself up through it and not down through it. Add that resistance and worry, and then that turns into, bad actions or whatever. But same concept, so you don't have to be confused there. So look at it this way, Truth. Like I said, anxiety learns while anxiety is turned on, so that's one reason we need you to feel this. And number two, this is the moments where good practice comes into play. This is the moments where confidence is built. This is absolutely needed, and this is a good day for you. So again, you're scoring major points today. You will reap the benefits of that. You will reap the benefits of that. You're going to see how this changes the game for you, man. I mean, yeah, it takes work, but it's going to change the entire game for you. You'll start to score these points. Soft-spoken doesn't work for me either, Truth. You know, while I was going through my recovery, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love, you know, Dr. Weeks, but really I needed that motivation. Not that Dr. Claire Weeks isn't motivating, obviously, is not what I'm trying to say, but I really, you know, what spoke to me was that kind of in-your-face sort of deal. It's like, man, you got this habit, it's time to work on it. We got to do this shit. It's not okay, you know, well, you know, we'll try again next time, and no big deal, and beat around the bush, and it's like, no, here's your habit, here's solution, let's go, right? So I completely understand what you mean by that. Not allowing someone to stay in a pit of self-loathing for too long, but instead literally yanking them out of it and saying, here's your habit, here's your solution, let's do it, let's go, let's fucking go, you know. People tried to baby me, and guess what I did? I stayed in a hole. It was like, oh, my life is horrible, and poor me, and boo-hoo me, and I can't do it, and boo-hoo me, and boo-hoo me, and boo-hoo me. It didn't work for me. It never worked for me. What worked for me was being yanked up by the fucking neck and saying, look, here's your bad habits. Yes, it sucks. No, it's not fun. Yes, life isn't fair, but here's the solution. Take it and let's fucking do it. Are you talking yourself up during those moments, or are you still going down the worried, negative, fearful route? Are you practicing this, or are you not? Right? And for me, I had to talk to myself like that. I had to speak to myself like that to get myself going, because being in the pit and just wallowing didn't work. So I completely understand when you say that soft-spoken doesn't really grab you. You know, and that's not to say I don't have streams where I'm a little bit more soft-spoken and, you know, I try to be a little bit more gentle. And, you know, that's okay. That has its time. That has its place. But at the end of the day, I think it speaks more to people when you're a little bit more, all right, let's do this, all right? Can I do that when I'm still with that person? I don't want to avoid her. Yes, I'm trying to. I know we've got a bit of a language barrier. I did this to myself. I don't know why I'm like this, but I can learn to stop feeling this in front of her, or to not get her. So let me read that last part again. I want to make sure I'm answering your question correctly. Learn to stop feeling this in front of her. You absolutely, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're asking, can you still be around this person? Because you don't want to avoid her, but can you still be around her and learn how to accept these feelings so that you don't have to avoid her? And the answer to that question is yes. You can be around this person, and you can retrain how you operate around this person by accepting these feelings and thoughts, not adding that gas to the fire, and you'll see that it does get easier in time. So if that's the route that you choose to go, I believe you can do that, yes. Excellent stream today, guys. Excellent, man. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I try to do a good job with all of my streams, of course, but some of them just kind of stick out, and I'm like, this is one of those. This is one of those streams where I need people to listen to this because this is gold, man. I feel like today's stream was definitely one of those streams. Good energy, good points, man. Good questions in chat. Definitely one of those streams. So. Why does it happen that you catch feelings so easily, Arnold? You know, it's okay to be a sensitive person. I myself feel like I catch feelings too easily sometimes. That's not in itself a problem. It's what you do with that. So, for example, you know, if you talk yourself down and you fight these feelings and thoughts and go down the rabbit hole, then it might become a problem. But if you can just admit to yourself and accept to yourself that, hey, you know, I'm a sensitive person. I'm an open person. I catch feelings really easy. You can accept that. That's the start, right? And then how do we finish? We continue to accept that these feelings come up, these feelings go, these thoughts come up, these thoughts go, but we're not adding to the fire, right? We're just accepting little reminders, accepting inner voice towards these thoughts and feelings. You're not adding fuel to the fire. And really, you know, it's the same concept as what we talk about with anxiety here with other emotions. And that in itself, not going down the rabbit hole, not adding the fuel to the fire, that will start to help change things for you naturally. Go back to work soon, been on leave for nearly 6 weeks. You got this, dude. You got this. You're going back to work with all of these tools now that you didn't have before, so that's the way to think of it. Well, when Claire Week says face, it makes you think of fight. Well, face and fight are two totally different terms. Some people get confused on terms. But to face something means to face it, to allow it to be, right? To not try to run from it, to not try to fight it. To fight something means to try to do something about it, to try to push it away, to try to destroy it, to go away, go away, go away, that negative inner voice, right? So to face something means, okay, you're here, and I'm going to allow you to be here. I face this. Right? To fight something means I'm going to try to destroy you, get you to go away, and you get caught up in this negative inner voice, and so forth and so on. You do got this. You do got this, old mate. You do got this. That was a good question, though, videos. I appreciate that. I don't know, Truth. I wouldn't go as far as saying it hurts, right? Because the practice is still in your hands. I mean, a lot of people are surrounded by people, and they're still working on this practice. So I don't really think it makes a difference either way as far as the practice is concerned. So I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't start talking to yourself down about that, right? I mean, people can be absolutely, they can be the center of attention, so to speak, and still have these bad habits, so. Well, let's work with where you're at right now, Arnold, with that acceptance, with that practice. Everything else will start to happen more naturally as we start to not add fuel to that fire. Are you going to be on Discord today/tonight? I don't know. I don't know. I don't really plan those things. Usually when we jump on voice chat, it's just like a spur of the moment sort of deal. People start talking about it, and then sometimes I'll join up. We don't really plan it over on there. I will drop the link, though, if anybody wants it. Let me see. Let me grab that for you guys real quick. You could say that, videos. Yeah, you could say that. Always trying to plan an escape. You're more than likely in your head with a very negative inner voice. So that's something not everyone would know. Well, we try to keep it super simple around here. We do get into detailed topic, right? But at the end of the day, we want you to understand that the one thing you have control over, really, at the end of the day, is what you tell yourself about these thoughts and feelings, aka that accepting inner voice, and whether or not you're living your life, right? We try to keep that super simple. Don't get me wrong, we've got plenty of streams and videos where we go into more depth on that, but as long as you understand that, right, these things will start to fall into place for you, because that's really everything wrapped up nicely, right? And we know that people tend to overcomplicate this thing, and that's why we try to keep it so simple. Oh, we're at the end of our music here. I have to turn it back a little bit. Hey, yeah, reach out, old mate. I'll try to get back to you. Sometimes my messages do get buried, but reach out. Truth says, let's get the goal. Let's get the goal. I don't know. We're on 89. We're on 89. What are these spam comments, man? They don't even remotely make sense. Truth says she'll cover a stream. Hey, you guys know how I am. I don't push the streak. If we hit it, we hit it. If we hit it, we hit it. I don't know, man. I don't know, Sanchez. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Regardless, this was a great stream, dude. Regardless. I'm happy with this one. I'm happy with this one. Yeah, regardless, man, I'm happy with this stream today. This was a good stream. It's one of those that stick out to me. Alright, let's see. Let's put on a special song for this moment. If this is what I think it is, I hope. That is... Jesus, that is not what I assumed it would be. That is not what I assumed it would be. Alright, sorry chat, I don't have the chat pulled up at the moment. I'm trying to find us some more music. And then we will get back to the chat. Mr. 69er. When you go on Discord, how do you get in contact? You'll want to look for my name, right? You'll want to look for my name in the chat. You'll see Wonder Bro. I'm in the chat. I'm in the users. You'll want to look for that. Once you've found that, you should just be able to tap on my name if you're on mobile, and it should give you an option to send a message. Should give you an option there. No, it'll work. You can still send messages if you're on Do Not Disturb. I think Do Not Disturb just mutes notifications, I believe. Keen. Keen, love it. Love it. Hey, Truth, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm sure I'll catch up with you soon. Sanchez. I don't know, man. I think it's over because I'm about to wind it down in a second. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very hungry, so I think I'm gonna wind it down in just a minute. Just a minute, but what I mean, 89 days, man. 89 days. But the Hot Pockets are calling my name, dude. I don't know. The Hot Pockets are calling my name, man. Old mate, I did get your message just now. I'm gonna reply. Did get your message just now. I'm gonna reply. Tell me if you get this. Should have got that. Hey, what's up, Jimmy? Wait, am I muted? No, we're good. We're good. What's up, Ace? Countdown music. Countdown music. I don't know what would be a good countdown song. What would be a good countdown song? I don't know. This is one of my favorites. Hey, see you later, old mate. Or Sky, rather. We're gonna let this one go. We're gonna let this one go to the end, and then I can't fight it anymore. I gotta get a hot bucket, man. I'm starving. I'm starving. Ham and cheese, baby, all day. Hey, thank you for subscribing, Peach. I appreciate you. Welcome, welcome. Sanchez. Wanna change. If you don't wanna change. Freeze the tip goal for another day. Then it really wouldn't be special, you know what I mean? I mean, if we just froze it like every time we didn't meet it, then it would just be like, it would be never ending. It would just be never ending if we did that. So I don't know. It would lose its specialness. Does that make sense? It would lose its specialness, and it wouldn't really be a goal anymore, or a streak rather. It wouldn't be a streak anymore. It would lose its specialness, man. I mean, sure, we could cheat like that a little bit, but it just wouldn't be special. People wouldn't feel like they did anything. You know what I mean? But what I will do is we will always remember how far we did make it with the streak. We'll put it on screen or something. Hall of Fame, man. Hall of Fame. Hey, take it easy, Sanchez. Have a good one, man. Nah, man, I can't do that, Arnold. Can't put a please donate. I'm not gonna beg for it. We gotta let the streak happen naturally. I hate it when people do that. Which I know you're probably just joking, but I've actually seen people do that. I hate it when people do that.
Donation.
Sanchez, dude. Sanchez. Oh my God. Sanchez. He said, what does Hypno say? Fuck Hall of Fame. Sanchez says, fuck the Hall of Fame idea, dude. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Fuck Hall of Fame. Love you, bro. It's Sanchez. Okay, forget the Hall of Fame idea. I was actually working on it, but forget the Hall of Fame idea. Sanchez says, screw that. We're going to just move on. So, Sanchez, my boy, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Shout out, man. I know there's not a huge amount of people in the stream right now, but shout out. Show my boy some love. Show my boy some love. Show my boy some love. I appreciate you, man. Not today, not today. Woke up and said, let's see how uncomfortable I can make myself on purpose today, and did a bunch of stuff I've literally put off for 6 months. Thanks for reminding me, Wonder Bro. Absolutely, B. Absolutely. I was working on the Hall of Fame thing. Sanchez says, not today. Not today, man. Moving on to 90. 90. Insane, dude. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Show him some love, man. Show him some love. I appreciate the suggestions on freezing the streak and so forth and so on. We just can't do that because then it wouldn't be special. It wouldn't be special. It wouldn't be a streak at that point. So We can't do anything like that. We got to either let it happen naturally or not happen. So, but Sanchez said, screw the record. We're just going to go to 90. So I appreciate that, dude. Thank you. I appreciate the shit out of everything you do, Sanchez. I really, really do, man. I really, really do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, man, and Tim, thank you for the Cash App. The $10 Cash App says F Hall of Fame. You guys are not all for that idea, but hey, you know, we got to let it happen naturally, dude. But Tim, thank you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Sanchez. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you. And Emma as well. I almost forgot. Emma as well. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all of you lovely people. Everybody is against the Hall of Fame idea. Hey, man, moving on to a 90 days. I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. This calls for our song, man. We've got to have our song. We can't not have our song today. Let's see, are we on the right playlist? Are we on the right playlist for our song? All right, we got it. We got to have our song, man. Again, dude, huge shout out, Sanchez. I love you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Huge shout out to you, Sanchez. Tim, man, thank you, Tim. Oh, boy. Sanchez. Wasn't good enough, man. We had to go to 69, apparently. Sanchez. I appreciate you, Sanchez, Mr. 69er. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Sanchez, Mr. 69er. Tim, dude, thank you. Emma, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you guys. We're going to move on to 90. We're going to say screw the Hall of Fame idea. I appreciate you guys. Really, I do, from the bottom of my heart. This calls for our song, man. We're going to hear our song. Mr. 69er, this one's for you. I appreciate you guys. Good stream today, man. I highly recommend, if you're late to the stream, if you didn't catch the point of the stream, highly recommend that you watch it back, dude. It was a good one. So thank you guys so much, man. So much. Let's hear our song, and I will see you guys very, very soon. I love you. And until next time, as always, stay awesome. Hold that thought for just a second. We got an ad that almost caught me by surprise, but not today. Not today. I'm on top of things. There we go. All right, that's better. Thank you, guys. I love you. I'll see you very, very soon. I got my own cold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Yeah. Did it die? Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own cold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own cold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own cold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die.
think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict, I'm a lowlife, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting, don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored, careful what you wishing for. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a Billy